Hi everyone, it is Wednesday, June 24th, 2015, and this is episode 25 of the Serenova Crafts podcast. I'm your host, Jessica. I go by Serenova on Ravelry and Instagram, and Serenova_Phoenix on Instagram. Serenova on Twitter, Serenova_Phoenix on Instagram. I think it's one of those mornings. I really do. I have 0 shoutouts, so I'm going to be winging everything. I did finish my June socks. I have been working on my sock club socks. I have the yarn for July. I want to finish a project before I do that, by the end of the month. And, I have yarn for you. The yarn is right there. You can see the yarn. There. Yeah, yarn. Yay! Like I said, it's one of those mornings. If I make a funny face, it's because I might still have peanut butter in my teeth. I kind of had a peanut butter sandwich for breakfast. And yes, I say peanut butter sandwich because I actually don't like peanut butter and jelly, and I will just put the peanut butter on bread. So that is a peanut butter sandwich. And I feel like I still have peanut butter in my teeth. So yeah, please excuse any weird or funny faces. So first off with the project, I'm going to start off with the project I hope to finish, which is my catkin shawl. So as you can see, there's now some green down at the bottom again here, right? See that? So I have 28 rows left before I bind off. And I know this because that's how many are left in the chart. And my goal is to finish this by the end of the month and enter it into the shawl knit-along over at the Stitch Addiction podcast hosted by Kate. She said that we could enter shawls that were 25% done or less at the beginning of May because it was a 2-month knit-along. And this was covering probably between 20 and 25%. At the beginning of May, so it counts. So I'm hoping if I can finish this by the end of the month, I can get it photographed and up before she closes the thread on July 1st, so that I can submit it. I was originally going to try and finish my Shawl of Doom, but that wasn't happening, and now my goal for the Shawl of Doom is end of the summer. Because I do want to enter it in the Topsfield Fair this fall, but I need to go and look up their submission requirements. Earlier this month when I looked, they weren't up yet, so I need to go back and double check. But yeah, so catkin's going well. Once I was done this center chart, which drove me bonkers, the center chart, because it's all knits and purls. Here, I'll hold it up so you can see again. See those diagonal lines? Those are all done by knits and purls. There's no lace on this entire project. There are quite a large number of slip stitches because all of these columns, those are slip stitches. And then to form the little circles here, I'm like half through them, so like you can't see them that well. But see that and that? Yeah, those are made by slipping stitches between rows. So you're only working one color at a time, but you're slipping stitches of the. I thought I heard the cat. Sorry, that's why. There she is, Cokie. Come here, pretty girl. You're behind the couch. Cokie. She gonna come? Nah, she's not gonna come. Oh no, there she is. Come here, pretty girl. No, you're gonna walk away. You can't see her. She's over there, and now she's walking behind me. Move back. Cokie. Nope, no cat today. Sorry. Ooh, my lighting's weird. I just looked down at you can see my shadow on the wall from our living room light, but I do have the slider, the blinds all the way open on the slider. This is dark right now. Actually, it was good, yesterday we got hit with some rain, but, unlike the rest of the Northeast, I was actually a little too far north to get hit by the worst of it. Between DC and Boston got, like, the worst of it. We were supposed to get hail yesterday afternoon, but it went south of us, which was good because hail sucks. especially because I don't want my car damaged and I don't have a garage to put my car in, so my car would be parked under trees in hail if that ever happened. Because the parking lot where I park my car for where we live, has trees all around it. There's branches everywhere. My car is constantly covered in leaves and pine needles and sap and bird poop. And if there was hail plus trees, I would be very, very worried about a broken window. Because there's nowhere to park that isn't under a tree unless I park on like the other side of our apartment complex. And I don't really want to do that, especially if I buy stuff I need to carry in. But anyways, off topic. Catkin going well, 28 rows in my bind off. Granted, those 28 rows are the longest ones, but I figure if I can do like, I don't know, 10 tonight, like I have D&D tonight, and that's going to be like 3 hours of us sitting at a table. And if we're not in combat, I can knit. Because with combat, the reason I can't knit during combat in D&D is because there's too many numbers flying around. And I need to count for the charts for this. So yeah, if we are not in combat, I can knit. If we are in combat, the knitting gets put down and I shoot things. Because I'm a ranger, which is basically an archer, and so I'm basically the Legolas of the group. If you've seen Lord of the Rings, I'm basically the Legolas of our group. I stand at the back and I shoot things and they die. That sounds completely wrong out of context, and out of context that sounds like a horrible person. But when you're being attacked by like kobolds in Dungeons and Dragons, it's a reasonable response. Anyways, I've been keeping the project in my box bag from Sewn by Lindsay. It's sewn by Lindsay, which is SEWNBYLINDSAY.Etsy.com. Her shop has been on vacation because she has been doing a couple of shows, but I think the show is over now. When she podcasted like a week and a half ago or so, the show was in 10 days. So I think she's already had the show, so she might actually be back from vacation. I will tell you in the show notes whether she's on vacation or not. But I really like the fabric. And actually, I have some flannel that's almost the exact same pattern, but a slightly different color. But anyways, this is going back in the bag. And I'm hoping to have that done soon. And I will probably put up an actual blog post about it when I finish it. Because if I plan to finish it by the end of the month, I will finish it before my next podcast, which is a goal. So I will put up an actual post about it. So I have worked on my Twill Sock Club socks. And I actually got to the heel. I'm actually working the heel right now, so hence why it looks funny. I switched out the heel the pattern has written because it's very confusing. And I know that heel flat, like a traditional top-down heel flat, excuse me, I'm trying not to burp, hiccup, I don't know, I'm trying not to do something that's going to make a weird noise. For me, I have very narrow heels. Like I can't wear shoes that don't have a strap across the top of the foot. Think like ballet flats. And you know how those don't have a strap across the top of your foot? I can't wear those because my heel will come out of the shoe because my heel is not wide enough to hold the shoe on. So I literally have to buy shoes with a strap across the top if I'm buying shoes that aren't sneakers, because otherwise my foot will come out of them as I walk. So really, I do have narrow heels. So I am doing the pattern is Diamonds in the Fluff. It's free on Ravelry. It has a small, medium, and a large size. The small is 68 stitches, medium is 72, and I don't remember what the large is. I'm doing the equivalent of the medium because I normally knit my socks at 72 stitches on a 1, and this is 72 stitches on a 1.5. That's it. That's US 1.5. If I can see what it says on the needle, a US 1.5 is 2.5 millimeters. I think a US 1 is 2.2 millimeters. I have a US 1 here, I can look. A US 1 is, yep, 2.25 millimeters. So, I like my socks tight, and I like them tight. I like my socks at a tight gauge. So, I switched out the heel for the Fish Lips Kids heel, which there is a way to do it top down, so I'm doing that. I did work the full 9 repeats of the pattern as stated for the front, but in the back, because of the way the heel works, I stopped the repeat. I did 8 repeats on the back of the leg. But I am going to continue the pattern down the top of the foot, and then however many repeats I get, full repeats I get, before I need to decrease for the toes, I'll stop. If I have to go into a partial repeat, for the toe box, I won't do it. I'll cut it short. Because it's still going to be in shoes. Nobody's going to see it. But I'm really liking the way the yarn is working up. I'll hold it up close so you can see. You can see the slip stitches and how they work in the pattern. There is a purl stitch in between them, so it's a little rib. It's a 3x1 rib on the cuff, so it's 3 knit stitches, 1 purl. I used a super stretchy cast on from, what book is it? I have that book that's like 50 cast-ons and 50 bind-offs or something like that. It's in there. I'll tell you in the show notes what it is, or I'll put a caption. I'll put a caption on the video what it is. But I'm really liking the way it's working out. I finally got my second yarn because I doubled up on the sock club, which means I get 2 skeins of yarn every time. And I got this skein, which this is not an especially nice color. If you want to go to her website and get it, you can buy it. This is called Mermaid's Tail. Those colors are not showing true to life. It is much more vibrant in person. I'll tell you that right now. The green is much brighter and the blue is very aqua. If I get it close enough to the camera, it'll... The green is still not... It's much more of a bluey sea green. Think like sea glass green, except bright. And the blue is... Anyway, I have thought for ages about getting this color from... This dyer is also named Kate. This color, which is called Mermaid Tail from her Lake, because it's gorgeous. The camera is not doing it justice. Maybe if I move it up to the right. Much more vibrant in real life. Go to her website and look at it. But this is the same yarn, the same base as this. It's her Iaco's base. Ooh, the sun just went behind the cloud. Ooh, my lighting got bad. By the way, my laptop is not cooperating. Yeah, you can see the sun coming in and out of the clouds in my video. And I can't turn down my screen brightness right now. Don't know why. I'm also having issues with my screen, with my computer randomly clicking where I don't tell it to click. I'm beginning to save up for a tower. Because this laptop is 3 years old, and I'm not terribly nice to my electronics. I expect them to work, and I expect them to work every time, and I expect them to be able to do a lot. To give you an example, I melted the motherboard of one of my laptops in college because I was trying to run Photoshop because I was taking a graphics class. Trying to run Photoshop, iTunes, Skype, and my web browser at the same time, and the computer just went, nope, and the motherboard just melted itself together. I took it in because at the time I had a ThinkGeek warranty on it, so the computer got replaced at no cost to me because it was under warranty. I know it's not the best warranty now, but, you know, at the time it was, you know, what I had. And the guy looked at me like, what did you do? And I told him, and he's like, But yeah, no, computers don't like me. Like I asked my cousin, who has a computer science degree. Now normally I don't ask computer questions because I'm pretty knowledgeable about computers, but I said, look, this is what I'd like to do with computers. Sorry, I keep slouching, and I keep thinking in the beanbag. I told him, I said, this is what I like to do with computers. This is what I normally do on a computer. This is what I want to be able to do with a computer, because right now I cannot play any of my PC games. My entire Steam library is useless to me at the moment because I can't play it on my laptop, and I'm playing to my laptop right now because the camera's here in the laptop. So I told him, I said, look, I want to be able to play my Steam library. I want to be able to, you know, do graphic stuff. I want to be able to process the video for my podcast without it taking an hour because my poor computer's about to overheat. Because that's what happens every week when I record this podcast and I process the video. Yeah, I cannot do anything else with the computer while the video is processing. It literally takes up, like, the entire processor. So I'm normally, like, doing other stuff on my work computer while this is processing, like, just, you know. But anyways, I need a new computer. Tangent, sorry, yard. Back to what this podcast is actually at. Much more vibrant in real life. Go check out their website. Here's the label. And Iacos, and it is pronounced Iacos, is 400 yards to 100 grams, 100% merino wool. It's a 2-ply superwash. Now, I know that some people don't like that for socks, but I don't mind it as long as I don't wear it in my shoes. So, like, for me, they make really good house socks. And I have a thing for house socks now because, yeah, I'm not going to leave the house today. In fact, I might not even, well, no, we're having people over because we're hosting D&D tonight, so I'll probably put real pants on. I'm wearing pajama pants at the moment. I did change, actually, this morning, but I put on pajama pants because I wasn't planning on leaving the house. So, like, even though, like, I'm warm and I'll have the AC on, which the AC is off now due to noise, I'm going to turn it back on as soon as I'm done recording, even though the AC is on in the apartment 95% of the time now because we're into the warm months, my feet still get cold, like my toes. So I'll pull out a pair of wool socks and wear them even though the rest of me is completely comfortable. My feet are always cold. Anyways, yarn. I also bought just other yarn this week. So last on the, I'm pulling yarn off the floor, that's why I'm leaning over here. So last week on the sock mini swapping group, one of the women put up some patent croy for sale. And so I bought 4 skeins from her because it's $3 a pop. It was a good buy. So I got 2 colors. So it's going to be 2 pairs of socks. She's like, I'm selling them for mini, but you can use them for whatever. I'm like, good, because I'm going to use them for socks, and she just laughed. They actually come from Hobby Lobby, which there is not, and I know this because the Hobby Lobby price tag is still on them, and I'm not upset about that. But Hobby Lobby does not exist in New England as far as I know. I have never, ever seen one in real life. I have only heard things from podcasters on the internet, people who blog, and people that complain about their corporate policies on Tumblr. But I've never actually ever seen one in person. Because where my aunt lives in Florida doesn't have them. And they aren't up here doing them. We have AC Moore and Michael's for that kind of stuff. We do have a hobby store, but that's like trains and like cars and stuff. There's no Hobby Lobby. And then I have my local shop. And we do have Joann's. So we have AC Moore, Michael's, and Joann's. My local yarn shop. There's a yarn shop the town over as well. And then we have like the hobby place that's like I said, like cars and train hobby stuff. So anyways, so the blue and green, because this is blue and green even though you can't really see the green in my camera, is green striped rag, spelled R-A-G-G. I don't know. But I like the color. And the red is gray-brown marl. Now why is it called gray-brown marl when it's red, brown, and like a whitish? I don't know, but here you go. Gonna focus? No. You can see the colors whether it's in focus or not, so that doesn't really matter. Got 2 of each. Because for me, with Croy, I get 1 sock per ball with a smidge left over. So 1 sock each. Put those down. I now have my, hold on. Let me get this out of my lap. My full sock out of my lap. I also, this past Saturday when I was at my local shop picking up my quilt block, which I finished that. I'm going to pause for a minute and be back, because I did finish it and I want to show you. Be right back. I knew I'd forget something if I didn't have show notes. So last month and this month, so for May and June, we had to make 24 of these little squares, which are actually really simple, but they're all really different. I'm going to hold each of them up really quickly, because they're all so different. And some of them I like, some of the fabrics I like, some of the fabrics I don't like. Like, I would have a skirt made out of that center fabric there, because I think it's great. It's a white background with, like, blue, like, leaves and flowers and stuff. You know, because I like it. But they don't have a lot of, like, clothing fabric. They have a lot of quilting stuff. And they're actually doing a, oh, what is it called? I don't remember. They're doing, like, my local shop is participating in one of those things where you go from shop to shop and you get pieces and at the end you have a quilt. They're participating in that. There's this one again. I really like that fabric. I'd make a skirt out of that if they still had it. Here's another piece of it. I ended up with a lot of it. I had a lot of scraps of it. Here we go. So I made 12 this month and 12 last month. And here's my actual block for the month. So I'm getting much better at this. My corners are getting better. I'm lining things up better. I'm getting better at it. It's not perfect, and I don't have a whole, this is the first quilting I've ever done in my life. But you can definitely see that my January block and my June block, one looks a lot better than the other. But anyways, when I was at the shop on Saturday to pick up my next month's block, because you pick them up on the third Saturday of the month, which was this past Saturday, I sat and chatted with the girl there. Her name's Mindy. I've done test knits for her. I've done socks and a shawl, and I can link to her pattern page on Ravelry. She makes some really nice stuff, but this thing of sock yarn caught my eye. It's Malabrigo sock in the Candombe. I have no idea how to say that. I will hold it up so you can see it, and hopefully, however you say that, I have no idea how to say it. But it's, 440 yards, 3.5 ounces, made in Peru. It says US 1 to 3, which is 2.25 to, I think that's a typo, to 3.25 millimeters. Yeah. But I really like it. There's some purple in it here, which isn't showing up as purple on my camera, but that's purple. There's like a greenish gold. There's a more tealy green. It's a really nice color combination. The owner of the yarn shop had used this to make a sweater, and she had a skein left over, so she put it back on the shelf. And I loved it, and there's only one, so I grabbed it, and it's not mine. So, and then the last thing I have for you folks, because I'm going to be logging into work later than I wanted to, because it's almost 9, is my finished June socks. I finished them. Yay! They don't match. Do you see how close they are to matching? Do you see how close they are to matching? They don't match. Because what happened was that I knit this one, started at the outside of the ball, worked to the inside of the thing. So I started pulling from the outside of the skein here, right? I pulled from the other ball for the heel, which is why the heel is not the same, but you can see here the stripe progress, you can see here the stripes go in order, right? Work this one. I make sure they start at the same point. They are nearly stitched perfect match, right? I stayed up late on Thursday night because I had insomnia and I was working on them. And I came to a knot in the ball, the very end, with a drastic color change. I had to cut out the knot. And if you go look at the blog post I made about these socks, you can see all the ends I had to leave in on this sock. And then I continued. I cut out the knot, I overlapped the yarn, and then I continued on. and then I ran out, so to make them the same height, I had to pull a different yarn, and that's the white. It's just some random leftover fingering I had, to make sure that the socks were at least the same height when it was all said and done. So I wanted them the same length at least, you know. So they were almost row perfect and stitch perfect stripes until I was in the ribbing on the cuff. It's like if they'd broken like down here, I wouldn't have been so mixed about it. But because I've gotten all the way to the cuff on the second sock, I was so like BS about it. I was so like, are you kidding me? You know, it was one of those things where it's just like, oh my god, I cannot believe that just happened. You know, and it was at like midnight because I had insomnia. So normally I go to bed at like 10. Yeah, I had insomnia. Yeah, so that's the thing. Lastly, I have my July yarn here. So I'm going to open it, and then I may or may not cast on before the first, because it all depends on when I finish my casting. So, ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be plain vanilla socks because they're all plain vanilla. This is some opal wool. It is the Winter Marken colorway. If you can tell me how to pronounce the German, I'd appreciate it. Focus. I don't know. It's spelled W-I-N-T-E-R-M. The A with the 2 dots over it. R-C-H-E-N. The entire label is in German, so I have no idea. It's 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide. Oh no, it says virgin wool, not superwash. 100 grams, 425 meters. And here is the color. Now remember, I caked all this up in December. So it's been sitting in a cake for a while. So the cake's kind of collapsed in on itself. But interesting colors. I'll probably have to pull from the other end of the ball to preserve the stripes for the heel, like I did for January, my January socks. But this should be good. It doesn't seem to be a thick fingering like my January socks. That yarn, which was not opal, it was an opal wool as well, but it was a different one. That was like a heavy fingering, almost sport, and I actually had to change the number of stitches I used. But this one seems to be about your standard fingering weight in terms of looking at how thick the yarn actually is. So this is going to be it. I actually have the bag I use for my socks here, so I'm going to put it in the bag with the label. And unfortunately, I cannot reuse these paper bags. Between the duct tape and being scrunched up and being stored for a while, they're not any good. And I think that's it. So I hope you guys all have a good week. I spent this past Father's Day with my dad. I actually took him out to lunch, which was nice to be able to do. So that was good. I don't have anything much coming this coming week. I have D&D tonight. Hopefully I'll finish my catkin. And then when I next speak to you folks in the podcast, it will be July. Oh, and I got some good news yesterday. My contract at work got extended another 3 months. Yay! Especially because I'm now paying my student loans. So, that's that. So I will see you guys in July. Have a good week. Bye!